Well, there are vast differences in epidemiological dynamics across countries, and the differences between the United States and Germany are particularly puzzling. So, how is it possible that countries as similarly developed as Germany and the United States display such huge differences in their response effectiveness to the pandemic? Our main argument is that the epidemiological dynamics must not only be seen in the context of differences of actual policies pursued or not pursued, but their philosophical origins. Specifically, we argue that Germany's policy response must not be seen independent from the influence of social market economic thought on its various social safety nets. Likewise, the United States policy response must not be seen independent from a much greater influence of more laissez-faire economic philosophies. Essentially, we make the point that the social market economy has much greater resilience to the pandemic than a system that is more influenced by laissez-faire.
Well, we compared the pandemic performance of the German social market economy and the American laissez-faire models in three specific dimensions: employment, healthcare, and housing. In 2020, Germany kept unemployment to about 6% because of the Kurzarbeit, so-called short-time work system, under which the state pays companies to keep workers employed during economic downturns. This is a tool that has been in place for decades in Germany. It's ingrained in the German economy. In contrast, the American unemployment rate spiked to over 14% last year, despite the creation of a temporary program which was also designed to keep workers employed during the downturn. But Congress designed this program on the fly, leading to numerous problems. Many employers simply weren't eligible for the program. Employers were hesitant to access it due to unfamiliarity and confusion about the rules, and most importantly, the timing. Mass layoffs had already begun by the time the program was up and running. So this comparison illustrates how the social market economy, the state plans in advance ways to absorb these economic shocks, while under the American system, policy is so often written during the crisis. And it's ironic because in the United States, the government does end up playing a significant role in stabilizing the economy, but the political will to create this permanent infrastructure simply doesn't exist.
Well, there are much fewer differences between a social market economy and laissez-faire capitalism than there are communalities. Both believe that selflessness is second to self-interest, subordination is second to self-responsibility, and solidarity through the redistribution of arms is second to solidarity through the empowerment and the creation of equal opportunity. Therefore, self-interest, self-responsibility, and equal opportunity are natural rights of the individual for both social market and laissez-faire economists. Both social market economists and laissez-faire economists, they also argue that the free market naturally promotes self-interest and self-responsibility. The difference is really to the question of whether the free market naturally promotes equal opportunity. For laissez-faire economists, the free market promotes equal opportunity, but for social market economists, the free market does not. So from the perspective of a social market economy, there is a proactive role for the government to play in creating equal opportunity. And the healthcare market is a prime example to illustrate this role.
A significant quirk in the U.S. healthcare system is that half of Americans have coverage provided by their employer. So large job losses invariably lead to widespread loss of health insurance. German health coverage, on the other hand, is not connected to employment. The average German worker stays in the same health insurance throughout job changes, voluntary or otherwise, and even into old age. Germany also has a legal requirement to maintain health coverage. So these are factors that contribute significantly to Germany's rate of uninsured, which is virtually zero. In the United States, we don't have all the data yet on the coverage lost during the pandemic, but we do know there was a historic spike in Medicaid enrollment last year, over 6 million new enrollees between February and September. We also know that 12 states still have not expanded their Medicaid programs, meaning a significant number of Americans who lost their job-connected coverage have become uninsured, and that's during a global pandemic. The 2020 Democratic primary can, in a sense, be viewed as an illustration that most Americans, even on the left side of politics, are still not comfortable with the idea of replacing the current system of employer-based coverage. As a result, the American system for the foreseeable future will remain fragmented, and the average American will continue to experience numerous changes in health coverage throughout their lives.